the short block. What's up, guys? N54 Gasm here, or Justin as a lot of you know me, back again. Today, the engine is nearly complete, and we are very happy. We are a very happy man because the head is torqued down, the bottom end is torqued in, everything's in, the pistons and rods spin over perfect. Everything looks pretty good, guys. We're very happy right now. There's a few sketch things I wanted to talk to you guys about that I didn't really want to tell you guys about, but I guess we are, all right? I just want to lay it out there in case it doesn't work, in case you guys are building your own engine. First of all, this is not a DIY, guys. I'm not DIY showing you how to build an entire motor because I do not have time to do that. I'm not a pro. This is my first motor I built. My friend Jeffrey, this is his first engine he built on a car. He's only rebuilt his 2-stroke motor before, and that was it. So we did everything right, we think, more or less. We got the piston rings gapped right. We got all the specs, we got the rod bearing clearances, everything, you know, we did all new rod bearing, we did everything. Everything's new, we think we did it right. We cleaned everything as good as we could. Maybe we could have put more effort towards cleaning, but whatever, it's clean enough. The only sketchy, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. The only reason I have any doubts, or he has any doubts, my buddy too, is because you guys know you're supposed to get the head machined, right? You know you're supposed to get the deck block, or the block decked also, which is just machining also to get it flat and take off some material. Just like the head, you machine it to get it flat so it seats perfect and you take off material. I actually think you have to machine the head gasket too. If you get the normal multi-steel head gasket, the OEM one, you actually have to machine that also, I think. But anyway, we didn't do any of that, okay? When you drill bolts in the block too to line up with the head, you're supposed to machine that also. We didn't machine any of that, guys. We machined nothing. We went to the machine shop for absolutely nothing. We took 2 motors and we tore them apart and we put them to one with the good parts that we had. We had one bad crank that spun a rod bearing, and then all the other accessories and block and everything I used from a donor motor also. And the first donor motor I bought from my buddy that was running in the car. So we have his accessories and stuff that I know is gonna be good. Anyway, the sketchy thing is we didn't machine anything, guys. So we don't know that's gonna be perfect. We are banking on that head gasket, that copper ring head gasket from VAC Motorsports. We're banking on that to hold it all, and we're banking on the over torquing of the bolts to compress the cylinders down even more, to hold even more power and hold the head gasket down even better, which I'm pretty sure it will, because I mean we went from 9 millimeters on the outside to 11 mils over torqued, and then 11 mil stock to 12 mils over torqued also. So it's definitely going to have some more clamp force on there. But will it blow? Did we set it up right? From what it looks like in the video, it looks like it's perfect. It looks like it's flush all around, all the bolts fit in perfect, the edges look perfect, all that looks perfect. So that being said, we're sending it, guys. We're sending it, all right? The rods and pistons look great, great quality. It spins over in the engine, great. We already spun the rod. I wish I had a video. I didn't take a video showing you guys the rods and pistons spinning over in the block without the head on. I really wish I would have done that, but it does spin over very smoothly. Everything looks like it fits perfect. So that being said, we are done. You're seeing this video now. We are damn near done. All the hard part is done. There's really nothing left in the way that I don't think will hinder us at all now that we got the head on and the bottom end assembled. There's really nothing else. We just got to put the little accessories on. We're going to time the motor today. We're going to do drill the crankshaft out. We just have to do the 2 holes for the pin crank hub. And then cams, timing, pretty much done. Pretty much there, guys. Like, after you seeing this video, the next video, you'll see the engine all clean. I'm going to clean it. The turbos will be installed in the engine. Shit, all the accessories should be installed in the engine also. And we're basically going to put it in after that. I mean, I'm just uploading this video to show you guys the progress that I made. These are my vlogs too, so I can always go back whenever in life and look at these also. Know I did all this with my cars and built them. So it's for me also, and it's for you guys. I just know you guys like some entertainment. You want to see a built motor? So here we go. There's a built motor. I'm just going to skip through. I mean, if you need to know some specifics, you probably better off having a friend that knows what he's doing to help you, just like me for my first time, because we don't want to fuck this up. Here's everything that we've done so far. Almost complete, baby. I apologize for the delay. I know everybody wanted to see this a long time ago. I know it should have came a long time ago, guys. My tuner, myself, we've all been very busy and had a lot of things to do, and I just took it up to build this motor myself the last few months. So we're almost done now, guys. We had to buy a lot of parts. I didn't have a lot of tools for the motor, special tools. There's a lot of things I didn't have, and I didn't have time. I do sports. I had some competitions for my sports recently. I've been training hard for them. Yeah, basically, we're there, guys, though. We are fucking there. Finally, I cannot believe it. The only thing, pray for me. Pray for me that this head does not come up and lift on us when we hit some 40 pounds of boost, guys. That's all I pray. Pray for me that the head doesn't come up, all right? And the engine doesn't blow. Let's get to the video.
All right, guys, block surface as clean as it gets. Use some 2000 grit sandpaper and brake cleaner. Nice and smooth everywhere, took off a lot. Flip it over. All the oil channels, everything's been clean here. Nice and clean, all the fresh bearings in. Looks nice. Good as it gets. Surface nice and clean. Got all that gunk for the sealant out. Put our new sealant in. Let's go to here. We're gonna head over to the bed plate. Bed plate nice and clean. All the new bearings in there. Made sure we got all the oil passages clean too. Everything nice and clean. All the dirt out, and then the head I got as good as I could. But honestly, it came out great. Look how shiny it is. See a reflection in it. But these are all just surface stains from the last gasket. This is very, very smooth now. Everywhere. No dirt. I scrubbed it really nicely. It's very clean head. Sandpaper resurfaced by myself. But yes, I think it's gonna do just fine with that gasket. We are officially done with cleaning. What a mess. What a mess. All right, guys, here we are. Jeffrey's over there applying some assembly lube to the main bearings. We're assembling the pistons and rods finally. We just finished the cleaning the other day. Back at it for assembly day. The bottom end assembly time. Here we are. We got all of our piston rings gapped. We took care of that a long time ago. And now I'm just finishing putting this C-clip on. We lubed up everything. And should be good to go. I'm gonna put this C-clip in. It's gonna require 2 hands, so catch you back in a second. All right, guys, got the plastic gauge right here on the rod bearing. You see that special coating these ACL race coated bearings have? See that dark coating? It's really nice. It's extra oil for first startups, or just in general, I think. All right. Cylinder number 1. Down in the hatch. In this case, up in the hatch.
Hand almost gave out there.
Here, let me tighten that while you hold it. Alright guys, just finished doing one piston with all the rings. They all fit very nicely. No issues at all. And yeah, time to finish the rest and put the rods and pistons in the engine. So I want to tell you guys something that we're doing pretty unique. So I actually bought the bed plate sealant. It's in this box in here of the FCP goodies. I actually bought the bed plate sealant and then ended up not using that. Well, we're not about to use it because of these pins in the side. And you see how that special valve is in there? Well, there's a special machine that has to inject it from BMW for these kinds of pins. And I don't have any new ones, and we don't have time for that. And they're not even available local at all. So what we're going to use today is something that my tuner recommended. He's built tons and tons of engines with. An exact N54 engine with the same stuff also. So we're going to make life easier, and we're going to use the Right Stuff 1 minute gasket maker. Get a nice little bead here on the bed plate. Nice little bead around. And we're going to hurry up and cover the bed plate and torque it down. Then we don't have to worry about injecting later or any of that. Nothing coming out of the crank seals and the rear main seal. We don't got to worry about any of that with this stuff. And it should do just as good a job, if not better, honestly. So we're going to use this and see how it goes.
Definitely kind of hard to move it.
It's all right. Take your time. You got it. This is definitely not BMW procedure.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
But we're gonna make it work. Here we are with the Right Stuff bead all around. Jeffrey did an amazing job. Looks pretty good. It's always a little thick in some spots, but safer to add more thickness than not enough. That's for sure. All right, now we gotta hurry up and put that bed plate on right now.
Yeah.
Let's get it on. Gotta stop recording for this part though. All right, guys. Jeffrey's tightening, doing the last final torque of the bolts, the 90-degree rotation, 70-degree rotations. But for now, I am putting the rods and pistons together. I already got that one we did all the testing with together. So we just make sure you oil up the inside of the rod here. And then on the wrist pin, gonna use assembly lube because it's gonna be a while before it gets oil. Make sure it's all lubed up nice. And we're just gonna stick it together and put the C-clips in. And here's the pistons. I already put all the rings on already. I made sure I put them on perfect, and they are all to spec, right where they should be in the cylinders. So let's get this done. All right, guys, putting the rods and pistons in. I just tapped it down, end of a dirty hammer. Doing this in a dirty garage, of course. It's coming. It's in line. Let's just tap it the rest of the way down. Good guide in there. Sticking straight up, I mean, very self-explanatory. And we'll just start drilling. We're doing the last cylinder now, so if you just throw it down, you see, wiggle a little, and then that, it won't fully seat, but the guide will seat good enough to where I just use this middle right here as a reference in between this notch and just make sure it's straight. Now, after you spend time finding a screwdriver that's perfect enough just to fit right in there, let's do it. So here we go. This is first. I guess we'll just drop it, yeah. Just drop it in there. Line it up. There we go. You can see it fell in smooth. The injector port kit, successful. We got all the inserts, every cylinder nice and flush. Everything worked out perfect. It was overall a pretty easy job. All right, guys, and we're at that point now. It's time to put the head on the block. We'll see how fucked up and misaligned the holes are that we drilled. We're about to find out here in a second. Wish us luck. Wish us luck, guys. Doing the head bolts right now. Torquing it in order. What you're supposed to do. I'm doing first 30 Newton meters on the 12 mil Nissan Patrol head bolts. Guys, now we're gonna do a 90-degree turn. Now that we've put all the bolts to 30 Newton meters. 90-degree turn on all the bolts now. All right, guys, now we're gonna do 140 Newton meters. We did 30 Newton meters first, then we did a 90-degree turn, and now we're gonna top it off with 140 Newton meters for the final torquing of the head bolts. So let's go.
There we go.
That's it. All right, guys, torquing the outer bolts now. Jeffrey's torquing the outer bolts. We're gonna do for our 11 mil stock conversion on the outside. Remember, we drilled the 9 mils out to put the 11. We're gonna do 2 90-degree turns and then a 45. And then that will set it for the outer head bolts. And that will set the head complete on the motor. Some good progress now. So just make sure that you always replace these bed plate bolts, because I thought it'd be okay because they're 10.9 grade, but apparently they do stretch a little, my tuner says, and we do not want the crank shooting out. There'd been catastrophic failure if one of these bolts decides to go. So we made sure we got some brand new ones just to snug back up before we put everything else on. And we torque them to, what do we torque them? We're going
20 Newton meters and 90 degrees.
20 Newton meters and 90 degrees. BMW specs calls for 20 Newton meters and 70, but we're gonna go 90, just a little more, just for that extra snug, you know? Because why not? Why not? Today we finally completed the short block, completely done. Do you want to come over here, take a look at these? We got the rod bearings in, rod bolts, pistons in, everything's in. Bottom, we replaced the bed plate bolts here. Self-explanatory, we replaced all the bed plate bolts on the outside, torqued everything perfectly to spec on the bottom end side, so we're good. Everything fit in nice. The crank spins over beautifully. So now let's flip it over. Next, we're going to be doing the crankshaft. We're going to drill it out for our PPI crank hub right here. This is Plug and Play Integration's newest crank hub. This is actually, we used the same one in the last motor we had, guys, on the 335i. If you've seen when I did the 6 HP 28, we actually use the same one. Michael bought the rights to the guy's company from Misfire Race. So we know this is going to be fine because it worked perfectly in my 335i, so I know it's going to work perfectly in this. These steel are tested at like insane amounts of torque. The pins, everything, it's a one piece, as you can see. So we know the fitment, everything is going to be perfect because we've already installed one of these before. So I do have something to tell you guys. The 5 Series is going to be getting some secret unreleased turbos that are going to be the biggest twins right under my MMPs. Technically, they will be the biggest twins mass produced because my MMPs are custom and you guys, no one else can buy them. They are damn near the same size. I'm not sure I can go into details right now because I'm not supposed to, but we're doing it next week in that car, actually before this motor's built. So that car is about to have some huge twins in it next week in the stock motor. We're gonna see how that goes. Then we're gonna finish this up. Actually, right now we're finishing it up. Tomorrow, the next video you guys see is gonna be the motor completed. So part 1 was just showing you what we had. Part 2 right here is everything assembled pretty much to the long block. Pretty much the long block's assembled now. All the hard parts out of the way. We know that the torquing and everything we were scared of, we did a hack job on this, Jeffrey. Like some you know, we didn't do a hack job, but we skipped. Everything's not perfect. It's not perfect, everything. The head gasket, we don't have dowel pins in the head, so we just had to eyeball the head gasket while we were putting it on with no dowel pins to make sure it's perfect. So there's a few things we're sketched about, but I'm feeling pretty confident. Jeffrey's not feeling confident too much, as much as me, but I'm feeling pretty confident that this motor is going to work fine and hold all the boost and power that we need.
So that being said, this is pretty much it, guys. We got the crank hub left to go. We got just we got to put the oil pump, the cam trays on. We got our timing and everything. It looks like a mess, and it is a mess in this garage. It's been a ride. I mean, look, we got the extra block, more cams in the back, and I got another set of cams and Vanos units from the 335i that I think I'm going to be using because it looks the best. So yeah, it's been a ride, guys. But it's pretty much all more or less done. You know, it's pretty much more or less done, guys. So like, comment, subscribe. We will see you on the next video when this engine is fully completed now with all the accessories and the turbos bolted up and everything on it. And then I guess the video after that will be it in the 335i starting up and running. So of course we're gonna have to do a nice 500-mile break-in because this is a fresh motor. So we're gonna have to do at least 500 miles to break everything in, and then we can turn the boost up. But for now, it's time just to put the little things back on and get this car and motor running. Well, we're gonna pray it runs, right, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir.
We pray it runs. We did a good job, guys. We think we did a good job. You want to show them the head gasket and everything? The angle, we did a pretty good job. Go around the sides here, show them how we have it lined up perfectly. Looks almost like stock all around. So yeah, looks pretty good. We're gonna send it.
All right, and as a little bonus clip, we're actually right here. Got the flywheel, rear main seal on, oil pan, oil pump, windage tray, all that. Just time for the cams now and timing, all the guides and chains. And to drill out the crank hub. Still got
Basically, guys, that's it. See you on the next video.